you written any book? You can use this. No.
Those are
I believe that's kind of.
Yeah. Cool.
No, but you can put it on mine.
All right.
We should-
Hi guys. I'm Katie Treptow. I am graduating in 2 weeks, and this is my business that I started last October. And to give a little bit of a background, I was not going to do it until I was about 30, because I thought you had to have all this capital and you had to have this big huge plan. And then Professor Whiting and Trent came in, and my mentors, and just a bunch of people were like, let's just start doing it. Just go for it. And so I kind of just leaped in, and we started with selling mugs. Blake and Peyton helped with that, and that really helped start funding this boutique, and so this is what it's become so far. My first idea, and so when you're starting a business, you have to solve a problem. Like, that's the only way you're going to make it. And so when I started asking around to my friends about what should I do after I graduate, a very typical topic that came up was like, you love retail, you love clothes, you love fashion, you love shopping, those kind of things, and you love people. So how can we start merging those two things? And so as conversations started to happen, I really started asking my people and my spheres and everything, what are problems you run into, or what are you facing, and what are tensions in your life that you're going through right now? And a big thing for my generation and females was that they love shopping, they love the fashion industry, but they're having a really hard time spending $30 on a shirt when they know they could be donating that to Feed My Starving Children or Kids in Africa and stuff like that. Because our generation has a really good heart for social justice and social change. And so people that have a heart for that have issues with shopping. And so I was like, okay, I have a heart for that too, so how can we start merging that? And I came up with a way where it's not giving versus spending, it's giving and spending. So I created a venue to give while you shop. Olive Branch Boutique, I came up with the name because an olive branch typically symbolizes hope, peace, and reconciliation. And that's really what we were going after, because I wanted to bridge the gap between fashion and charity. So it's an online women's clothing boutique for now. And yeah, it's about fresh fashion, future focused, others oriented. And I think that's really my niche, because you know, fashion can be very self-absorbed, and people can be shopping for are shopping for themselves, but it can also be a way for them to give and for them to donate to other organizations. And so I chose organizations that are local to the Twin Cities and that are impacting this community but are making a global impact. So certain percentages of my sales of proceeds go to Feed My Starving Children and Teen Challenge. So when we're starting out with the model, we were reading, what was it called, MVP?
The Lean Startup.
Lean Startup. And I absolutely hated it last semester, and I thought it was such a boring book and it didn't make any sense. But the one thing that stuck with me was the MVP, so the minimum viable product. And the reason why my boutique has worked so far is because I took this route. I decided that I can start a boutique and I can start a website with only 3 products, and that I can enter the market with very little, as long as I create a niche for myself and as long as I start creating a brand. So I had a very minimal website, I had a few products, and the whole thing is that you jump into it and you learn as you go. So the boutique that launched in January 1st is nothing like it is now. There has been a lot of changes, and you have to be willing to make those changes. And so I've had to pivot and change a lot of my thinking and my plans for the future of this company. And it is dependent on feedback from customers. So as I said, I've been interviewing and talking to people a lot, whether that be through social media, about website design. I know Luke took a glance at it and helped me with that. Products, and really just anything about the company. It's a really collaborative event. So my channels, first my customers. I've had a hard time narrowing this down. I think when I started, I was like 18 to 50-year-old woman, and that just like really didn't work because I tried to find clothes that everybody would like, and those did not sell well. And so I really had to narrow it down. I'm sure I can still refine it a lot, but right now it's 18 to 30-year-old females in the Twin Cities, just because I have a lot of Minnesota-based clothing types. I want them to be involved, whether that be in social media, in their friend groups, in their family groups, in charities, in their schools, whatever involved means. And then difference makers, people that want to start making changes within their communities and their spheres. So the product, basically women's fashion clothing. The place is the internet, but also during the summer, we're still working a few kinks out, but it's at like summer festivals, so White Bear Days, Stillwater Days, I'll be there every Tuesday, Thursday, Hopkins Raspberry Festival, stuff like that. I'll be there under a tent and selling my clothes there. And then the price is typically 2 to 3 times wholesale price. So Peyton's actually wearing one of my tank tops right now.
Stand up and model it there.
There we go. There's your avatar right there.
Yes, right there, that's my avatar. Yeah, so I was able to get that for $8.25, and then I sell it for $18. Yeah, she knows. I sell it for $18, but my it's a collaborative thing. I already said that. But my competitors, I'm actually on the way low end for pricing because my main competitor is actually selling that exact tank top for $28, which I think is ridiculous because it's a nice tank top, but it's not that nice. So I think $18 is a good price point, and 2 to 3 times wholesale is where I should be nailing for. Promotion is Facebook, networks, like my people and stuff like that, and then Instagram is really where I put it hard. But let's take a look at the my website real quick. So I really tried to go for a clean-cut, minimal view. And then there are photos. This is just the home page. This explains it and explains the charities. Yeah, pretty basic. And then shop. You can do dresses. We just had a huge collaborative photo shoot last week where 15 girls came out and we all tried on clothes and had a good time. So that was just the basic website. You guys can take a look at it later. And then for Instagram, so Trent came into our class, I think, in March, late February, early March. And I had 82 followers, and I was like, wow, like it's going so well. And I had been going for 2-3 months by then. So that was awful. And Trent really gave an idea of follow, unfollow, find hashtags that are similar to the ones that apply to your business and stuff like that. So as of 2 hours ago, I'm at 1,059. And I feel like that's pretty good growth. What I'm realizing is that the people that are following me are very loyal. They're liking every single post. When they start following me, they just go through and they comment. And these are kind of the die-hard, like, I love boutiques and I love boutique clothing. So I'm really gaining interactions and followings through that. And these are, I'm really amping up the Instagram, not so much to gain sales, that's like the end game, yes, but it's really to gain a brand and ambassadors and people that are going to stick with me through this whole thing and that are going to help me grow it. So I'm finding brand ambassadors right now. I've contacted a bunch of people, the 5,000 to 50,000 followers who are fashion bloggers, who love fashion, who are in Minnesota, stuff like that, and I'm going to send them free clothes, and I already have about 3 that I'm going to start collaborating with, and they're going to write a blog post about the business and stuff like that. And that's really, again, to gain the following, gain more people that are going to be supporters of this business in the long run. And targeting with the hashtag, I think that's been the biggest thing. So if I want to find new followers, I just do hashtag shop online and have all and I start following all the people that have used that hashtag in the last month.
yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing with my Olive Branch Instagram. I'm not a finance person, so when I heard we had to include finance, it freaked me out. So I got a template off the internet, and I tried my best. So I looked at my bank account, so I'm going through Squarespace for my website, and they do a great job tracking everything for me. But then the buying software they use is called Stripe. So I looked at my Stripe account, and it said I have $550 in gross sales, and that is the total gross sales because they take 3.5, I think, off for all of their transactions. And then other income, that would be from the mugs, that would be from my husband, that would be from my mom, like those are all the investors, and that's the other income. And then expenses, I tried to do my best with that. So far I've bought $1,300 in clothing. Shipping, that would be not getting my inventory, that the shipping for my inventory is included in inventory, but this is shipping because I fulfill my own orders. And so that would be shipping for those. Donations, because I do it of profit, I do about 10% of the profit. That would be about $225 because I double what I've paid for it. So it's around only $30, which I know is small, but I mean, it's growing, so it'll get there. Then Stripe, I'm paying $19.26. My website, I paid $250 for the year. Materials, such as shipping items and stuff like that, $149. And marketing on Facebook was $19.97.
Those were Facebook ads
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
So you did an experiment with that then, because you hadn't.
Yeah. Don't know how, it's fine. They're not great. I didn't put a ton of money in it, obviously, so I didn't get that much of a return. And so right now my net income is $59. Okay, so, let's go back. So future expenses, obviously more inventory. Summer festival costs are $600. I'm doing this with somebody, and she's been doing it for 3 years, and so she has the tent, she has the clothing rack, she is basically paying all the costs, and I could be going to up to 50 events, and one of those events costs $600, so I'm getting dirt cheap, like I'm getting a really good deal for those summer events. And then marketing, I would love to amp up. I know that there are Instagram ads, I would love to start doing stuff like that. And then 10 to 25 of partnership costs. Those are still up in the air too, because of the lady I'm working with this summer. And then for future, this is kind of a really rough draft of what I would like to go to. Located in 3 floral shop gift shops in the Twin Cities. Like if you guys know Lexington Floral, I would love to start selling a few clothing items there and start doing that in hospital gift shops and other places like that. Not necessarily having my own store, but getting into a physical store location. And then attending 5 summer market festivals and 3 fall festivals. That's my goal for this year. Positive revenue streams in 2 years, and basically what that means is I can pay myself for gas. That's about it. I'm not going to be rich off of this. Having consistent presence in 7 floral shops. I want that to be in 3 years. Donate 20% of profit. I want to start increasing that because that's really the goal of what this business is about. And then I want to open a physical location in 5 years. That's it.
Can you go back to the financial slide for a second?
No.
Yeah.
So the other income,
Mhm.
I think I heard you say mugs. And
Yeah.
your mom and your husband. Tell me about the mom and husband aspect of this.
Yeah.
Because
So-
was it a sale or was it an investment?
Investment.
Yeah.
So you don't have any net income.
So I wouldn't.
You're not making any money.
Okay.
The mugs are income because
Mugs
those.
are income, but
Oh.
your investment is not, it's not.
That wouldn't be in here at all.
So, what are you, what's the inventory investment look like, and how far in advance do you need to buy things, and what sort of commitments do you need to make on that inventory prior to selling it?
Yeah, so I'm buying it from wholesalers, and they are located in California. And so I pay up front for, it's not a credit thing, so I pay up front for all the clothing, and they send it to me within a week. Does that answer your question?
How much inventory are you buying at a time?
Oh, at a time. So let's say, this is actually one of my shirts. So I bought this, you get 6 pieces, 2 smalls, 2 mediums, 2 larges. And so, I think for the whole pack, it costs $80 to get, those 6 pieces.
Who are you going through?
I'm going through the whole thing of fashiongo.net. Have
Okay.
you heard of them? Okay, yeah, and then they have about 1,000 something wholesalers under them. Yeah,
I consider trying Amazon merch.
really?
They'll stock the product and you can custom design stuff and own the design, own your own listing on Amazon, no inventory required.
Is that different than fulfillment by Amazon?
Yes, Amazon merch is a new program that actually allows you to take advantage of their stock of all of the base t-shirts and the tanks and the sweatshirts and all that stuff, and they will print your design on demand. And
Oh,
you pay for the inventory as it's consumed.
yeah,
So it's
let's go with that.
just in time.
I'll look into it, thank you.
Because if you can come up with your own unique designs, then technically you own the design, you don't have any competitors who are selling it at $28.
And that would help with
Yeah.
the non-compete.
It would
stuff.
totally help with your discussion
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay, cool.
Why don't you start a nonprofit instead of
Why don't I start now?
this?
I like clothes. No.
The other 80%
Shoes, what do you think?
No, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I don't know what it would be about. And I think, I did missions for a while, and, I did YWAM, so I lived in India for a bit. And, I think people that are called to that do it super well. And I don't think everybody's called to it, but there are people that are called to it to support it. And so that's where I feel like I'm at.
All right, let's give her, one more question?
Yeah, can I do
Yeah.
real quick?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, just with the whole like nonprofit and donations and stuff. I think it's great to be able to give back a percentage. You said at one point that you would hope to increase it at one point.
Yeah.
What I would encourage you to do is try to increase by scaling. Because if you're donating too much, it's gonna again limit your cash flow and limit how much inventory you can buy,
Right.
and prevent you from being able to scale and make it bigger. But would you rather have 10% of 100,000 or 30% of 10,000? It's so just keeping that in mind, that sometimes the best way to donate and to give back is actually by investing in yourself to build it up.
Okay.
And then the second thing is Pinterest came out with promoted pins recently, maybe like 8 months ago,
Yeah.
or something like that. And I'm just starting to get into it, but I've heard that they are by far the highest converting ads on all social media. And I think for fashion, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So I would look into promoted pins for sure.
Okay.
Promoter pins with influencers and you make a crap ton of money.
Are influencers the same as brand ambassadors?
Essentially.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Great, let's give her a hand.